Hello and welcome to the GRADD Dialogue. My name is Jiten Shah. I'm the director of the GRADD office, and this month my guest is Dr. Nick Brake. Nick is no stranger to Owensboro viewers, but let me just give you a brief introduction. Dr. Brake is a native of Northern Kentucky, and he's right now the president or CEO of the Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation, known as GO EDC. Dr. Brake is responsible for leading the economic development efforts in Owensboro, Davis County, or the Greater Owensboro region, and also helping the recruiting industries, new businesses, as well as oversight of the regional workforce development efforts. And we have been so fortunate to have, over the time, work with Nick Brake. Nick, I hope you don't mind calling you Nick rather than Dr. Brake.
Absolutely.
So I'm so delighted that that we could have a chat about what's happening in Greater Owensboro economic development, and also how that impacts the whole region. GRADD with the 7 counties, Owensboro being the largest community, plays a great role in economic development. So before we talk about the GO EDC and its plans and everything else, tell us about what is GO EDC and how. And we see GO EDC in the big headlines and Messenger and other places, but how the structure works that would help us to enjoy those headlines.
Sure. Well, thank you, Jiten, for having me, and it's always a pleasure to work with you and your GRADD team. Great assets to us in our region. The Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation is a public-private partnership. The partnership really exists between our local governments, the city and the county government, and several private entities, businesses, and organizations in the community that are interested really in growing Owensboro, and that's really our mission, is to improve the quality of life, diversify the economy, and grow Kentucky's third largest city.
Even in this time of recession, your office and you in particular are always thinking about ways to stir economy, to get some new jobs or new opportunities. I think you mentioned this afternoon at one of the meetings that you made a presentation that some of the success stories in this country came about during the recession. Bill Gates and everybody else, and I know to some extent you are looking for or giving that opportunity. And one of the things that I read about was that trying to, even when the financing is getting scarce, you're working with the local banks to put together a loan pool. Can you comment about those and how it's going to help the industries and businesses in the area?
Sure. Yes. Well, we've got several baskets of money that we try to make available to entrepreneurs and to folks that are looking for economic opportunities. Certainly, we created our Emerging Ventures Center to focus and support those entrepreneurs. And one area that we're particularly focusing on right now is downtown development and encouraging a lot of investment in downtown. And so we've worked with 7 regional banks on a revitalization loan pool that will really focus efforts on revitalizing a lot of those existing properties in downtown, looking at loans from $250,000 to $1 million, and very good terms for the loans. So certainly if there's interest out there in looking at revitalizing some existing facilities, structures downtown, we encourage you to contact our office and talk to Dr. Reeves about moving ahead with that project. And we certainly appreciate the role that all of the banks that are investors in our organization have played in making that possible.
Nick, that is a perfect timing. As in Owensboro, Davis County is going forward with the downtown master plan. I would imagine that any new ventures, in downtown would have a place, maybe ideal, location-wise, to have some investment and start some business. You mentioned earlier about the Emerging Venture program.
Yes.
What is that?
Emerging Ventures is part of the Kentucky framework, the Innovation and Commercialization Framework. It's really focusing on growing entrepreneurs and growing high technology and high growth businesses. We have a staff person that is part of the Economic Development Office, Madison Silvert. His job is to identify high growth and high tech opportunities, and that office has been very successful. Also within his office, we have the Small Business Development Center, which is a partnership through Murray State University. We also have SCORE, which is the Service Corps of Retired Executives that help businesses. So really, if you have businesses that need everything from mentoring to funding support to connections in the community and knowing where to go and having problems solved or even finalizing their business plans. The Emerging Ventures Office is a one-stop place for them to go and walk in the door with an idea and walk out the door with a business.
And you, as you are building a location or complex?
We are currently working with the City of Owensboro and the Fiscal Court on a facility that will house space for those businesses to grow. It is a business accelerator. A lot of emphasis in this accelerator will be on high-tech and research-oriented businesses that use science and innovation. A lot of the emphasis is on the biotech sector, where we have a lot of companies that are working with Kentucky bioprocessing. So this facility at 9th and Allen Street, an old tobacco warehouse, is being renovated right now, and it will contain about 8,000 square feet of wet lab space for science. It will contain a food production incubator that will work in conjunction with Western Kentucky University's program in food manufacturing and food processing. It will offer opportunities for people with innovative food products to come and actually bring that product to the shelf using the food lab and the kitchen that are in there. And then there'll be some regular space, office space for companies that might want to come in and again, it's plug and play. So they can come in the morning with an idea and they could come out in the afternoon with some at least a location and a lease and really good terms of lease. So looking forward to that. It's a model that's being used in a lot of places now. It's been very successfully implemented in Bowling Green, and so we're looking to good things for that program.
Thinking back, and if this was about 5 years ago, we're having the same chat, we would not be talking about things that you're talking about. We're talking about the incentive in trying to bring the big industries and trying to bring the smokestacks and all those things. So the economic development effort has changed over the years.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned earlier in our discussion that your mission is E for economic development. So the four being the 4 E's. Can you comment what are those 4 E's that is so different than what traditional economic development used to be?
Yeah, we focus on that, and obviously we still focus on a lot of that old shovel-ready site, some of those things. But certainly, the economy has changed significantly in the last 10 to 15 years. So we would be doing the community a disservice if we didn't look at things a little differently to keep up with this global economy and how things are changing. The 4 E's are existing companies, existing industries, and we focus a lot on serving them and helping them grow. 85% of job opportunities in any given community around the United States come from companies that are already located in the community. So our efforts there pay great dividends because those companies need to be stable and growing, and so we try to do everything to help them grow that we can. We certainly also want to focus on entrepreneurs and new business ventures and opportunities, and that's a lot of what we just talked about with the Emerging Ventures program. But also it means some more traditional things, marketing the community, looking at assets like the riverport and the airport and how they can play a role in promoting and growing our region. The 30 is education, and education certainly is a key element of economic development because everything is about the workforce nowadays. And so we have a lot of partnerships with the colleges and the universities, with the GRADD and the WIB, and a lot of other organizations that are really focusing on growing, attracting the kind of talent that we need to be a vibrant and successful community. The 4th E is environment, and the environment is really where we get into the quality of life piece. And the quality of life, or the quality of place as it's called nowadays, is really more and more important than it used to be. We used to give lip service to that, and as we talked about large companies moving into the area. And the reality nowadays is those large companies have to vie for the kind of talent that they need to be successful. And the only way to do that is to create a place where people want to be, where people want to live, and where people want to live, whether they're a younger person or whether they're a retiree. Quality of place is really critical. So the downtown placemaking efforts that our office has been involved with, and Dr. Reeves, I think we'll be talking to you about, are really critical to those efforts for us as well.
Now,